Hey guys, welcome to a new podcast. Today we're in Bali. We have been invited by Wanner.
Yes, hello.
It has been an awesome time. First time for me in Bali, also for you, Floris.
Yeah, second time, but it was very long time ago.
Long time ago. And it was, first of all, Bali is amazing. So thank you for that. Thank you for the invitation. Thank you for the hospitality.
Yeah, no worries.
And today we're here with Wanner. He has multiple businesses. So we're going to talk about YouTube automation, which is very hot at the moment.
Yes.
Because we've been to drop shipping and we've seen all of the side hustles, but YouTube is, I think, one of the most promising new businesses, and you're also investing in Bali. So, but first off, introduce yourself and tell us what you do.
Okay, so my name is Wanner. I do YouTube automation full time. Have been doing it for about 6 years, but I've been a content creator actually since 2006. I started making RuneScape videos with like stacking my book on top of each other, a camcorder on top of it, recording my screen, where you can even see me as a little kid like sitting on top of the chair playing the game while I'm like videoing it, and it was hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really how I started out. Besides that, I'm 23 years old. I do pretty much YouTube full time, and then now also do coaching a little bit, and then also real estate in Bali.
Mm-hmm.
So I got one villa, and we're building 2 more.
Yeah, we've been to both locations.
Yes.
They're being built, which is also awesome. We'll discuss like the opportunities when it comes to real estate investing here in Bali.
Yes.
But first off, you also have a coaching business where you teach others YouTube automation.
Yes.
But maybe you can bring us on your journey, because you started out with YouTube quite young.
Yes.
And at which point you were like, hey, I can make serious money with this.
So that was back in early 2014. This is when YouTube introduced YouTube networks. As in YouTube terms, they're called an MCN, a multi-channel network. And back then, that was the only option you had in order to monetize your channel. So then this network came out of nowhere, which was called Freedom. And they were making all these divisions everywhere. So people were working for them based on a commission. So back then, the only possible way to earn money was on a 60-40 split. But a 40 split could be divided up in 2 if you bring on the other person. So that would be 60-20-20. So what I then did is, like, we were young back then, like Minecraft videos, only 1,000 views here, 3,000 views here, I would invite every single friend to join our network and be like, you can make money from this. If you earn more than $1, like 1,000 views a month, you get paid. And everyone's like, no way, that's so cool. So I went through my entire Skype list and got as many people on board. And at one point, there were like 600, 800 people. And it was only making me like 20 cents a piece. But we had like a few channels which were very viral. One of them was like a Lego channel, like Lego animations. And that channel was like doing like $500 a month. And I was getting 20% on that. So I was getting $100 every month when I was just about 14. I was maybe even 13 back then, which is ridiculous. And then I made the videos myself as well with Minecraft and everything. And for sure with Minecraft Hunger Games was the first time I really started getting some more viewers than like all my other friends. And I was doing about 10,000 viewers per video because I just had very funny commentary, even though I was a kid. People liked it, I don't know why, but got quite a decent amount of views. And then in 2016, if I remember correctly, Pokemon Go came out. And that's when I went with the Dutch channel. I went really viral, between 50,000 and 100,000 viewers per video. And for sure the one near the ocean where you had like the big sea Pokemon. I forgot the name, but that was one of my most popping videos and had like 300,000 plus viewers. And eventually I got so famous that, it sounds very weird to say you got so famous, but I literally had people ring my door at my parents' place, like, can we get a picture? And if
But
I
this
wanted
was
to go
like
there,
a cash cow channel? Or
no,
was
this was
like
my
with your personal?
This was personal channel.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So I've done this all as well. So then eventually, because we had so many people coming through the door, it's like, we don't want this anymore. You have to stop it. And then I was like, copyright wasn't a big thing on YouTube. Nobody cared. There were almost no systems in place, only for music, but not for like visual. So I decided to upload top 5 Minecraft animations or sport vines on a separate channel. And then the big channel turned into Sports Cinema. And that channel then I was uploading People Are Awesome, film compilations, and that started to earn quite a bit of money. So then when I was about 15, 16, including Game Cinema and everything, I first was earning about 3,000 a month. And then once Game Cinema went viral with a very old YouTube trick called the unlisted method, I was making about $20,000 to $25,000 every month when I was 16, 17. And that went on for pretty well until YouTube got more strict with the copyright rules.
And can you explain, maybe the people who are watching, how can you earn money with YouTube automation or YouTube cash cow? How does it work?
So how it works is as following: is you have a YouTube automation channel. You need to have 4 people. So you have a content creation team, which consists of 4 people. You have your scriptwriter, the one who does research for your videos and writes the script. You have the voice actor, who then goes ahead and talks over the video to make sure that the audio is good, just like a microphone right here. Then you have the editor, who compiles the audio file with a visual file to make sure that the video is entertaining to watch. Add in some animations, add in some text, make sure that every single point is explained well. And then you have the thumbnail artist, because you can make the best video ever, but if you don't get people to click on your videos, it's still for nothing. Like, you can have the #1 video in the world, but if people don't click, it just doesn't work.
Would you say that the thumbnail and the title are the most important, or?
Yes, for sure, because that's the goal. Your first goal should be getting people to click. And then your second goal should be getting people to watch for as long as possible. Those are the 2 most important things.
And what do you do? What kind of tricks do you use to get people to click? Because I've seen some of the videos you guys create.
Yes.
Yeah, they're quite interesting.
Yeah.
quite interesting.
You can say so, yeah.
Do you want people to know your niche or
Yeah, so my niche is ASMR storytelling. I'm completely fine with that.
Yeah, but for me, ASMR was
A
pretty new thing.
a pretty
weird
new
one.
thing. What is it?
Yeah, ASMR is, we searched the term, but I have no idea how you say it. I just say it's just like tingling sounds. It comes to something like that. It's asymmetrical sounds or something. But yeah, so we do that a lot. And then we also do storytelling. We make very long stories. And now we're slowly starting to transition into AI and making very long stories with that, because the longer the video is, the more money you get.
And is that like storytelling for the audience? Is that like a video about a made-up story, or is it not made up?
Most are from ChatGPT, or we do
Okay.
it based on a story. So we can get a transcript from YouTube, and then we let the ChatGPT, under certain commands, rewrite the story.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much real, and it feels as real as possible. But it's very easy with ChatGPT to make up a whole story, which is 20 minutes plus long, with no issues.
Yeah, it's insane. I think we experienced in the beginning, like, I know you sent me a story over, and you gave Chat something like, can you make a funny love story about Robin and
Funny love stories. Yeah, I had a very
fucked up
wrong
story.
one, which I took as an example for my student, which was a 13-year-old girl being locked up behind bars with an agent standing outside in a dislocated or delocated, I don't know how you say it exactly, with a faraway castle. And that just sounds so wrong, but it's a very good example to give, like, also with the mid-journey to generate thumbnails and like make the final stuff of it. That was very interesting to do, and now we're just slowly transitioning into like fully AI for storytelling. So we're also starting channels in that, but you can use that for crime, you can use it for horror, you can use it for love stories, you can use it for everything. So then we have people doing that like 24/7.
And is there a difference between all those niches, those sub-niches, in terms of how much you make?
Yeah, it depends on the volume, but you never know. Like, this is still quite new. So it also depends on how many people find it and start competing against it. But for now, it's completely fine, because the most competition is actually myself. This comes from another guy who said to me, who's in another niche. He does car crushing, I can just say that. But all the videos, all the channels you see is all owned by one person. And so we do the exact same thing for the storytelling. If one channel does well, we just create the second competitor against ourselves, which then boosts it up, but it also suggests each other. So we keep getting more viewers. So that's the reason why we literally have 2 niches with 9 channels, which are doing well right now. And then right now we're rapidly expanding more channels.
Okay, because I know a bit more about cash cow YouTube business, for example, but I think people who are watching still are like, how can I make money with this?
Yes.
Because it's like a faceless YouTube channel.
Yes, that's the term pretty much.
And then you choose a niche, I don't know how you say it, but
Yeah, niche.
the one where you get the most money out of 1,000 viewers, right?
No. So focusing on purely how much money you get out of 1,000 viewers, then I could just tell you, go to Frugal Living, high CPM on YouTube. But if you do that, the volume of those videos are so ridiculously low that these channels still make a lot less money, as an example, a basketball channel could, or a soccer channel, or a storytelling channel.
Exactly, because the audience for a basketball channel is way bigger than
you
the
got
frugal, what
you got like
mentioned.
2 billion interested people in that, but for frugal living, not really. Most people don't even know what it is. It just means saving money, but
Yeah, exactly. So with your cash cow business, the first step is you create a faceless YouTube channel.
correct.
Then you choose some topic.
Yes, a niche who has a good amount of volume and also a good amount of CPM. You don't want to go too low on volume with a high CPM, but you also don't want to go in too much volume with too much competition and a low CPM. Because if that's the case, you need, as an example, let's say you do stocks. So let's say each video of you costs $80, but you get $20 per 1,000 viewers. That means every video on average needs to get about 4,000 viewers in order to break even. But let's say you have drama, which is mostly either $1 or $2. Sometimes it's higher, but let's say $2. Drama, just like everything going wrong or K-pop drama. It's like $2 or $3 per 1,000 views, but let's say $2. Then for the same $80 to produce a high quality video, because there's a lot of gurus saying you can make videos for $50, you're not going to win with that. So don't bother doing that. But if you spend $50 or you spend $80 for such a video, then you need to get 40,000 viewers on average on every single video in order to compete against the rest and in order to break even. So doing that creates a lot of competition for yourself. So I would say people don't go into drama. I would rather go into stocks, but then search what is nice or how you're building it up. There's so many things that come along with it. But the simplest form of YouTube automation is finding a good topic. That's the hardest thing to do. Getting a good team, which is also a hard thing to do. But after you have those two, you're done. Like those are the only two hard things you got to do, and you have to pull through. And if you optimize these things consistently, you're going to win.
Exactly, because how do you make money with YouTube?
Ads.
Ads, exactly.
Just
so you get
literally
paid.
companies pay YouTube to put ads on videos, and that's how you get paid. And you get 55% of that, and YouTube takes 45.
Yeah, so I think it's very good because YouTube is the only platform who does this on this scale, right?
On this scale, to my knowledge, yes.
Yeah, because there's any advertiser who gives YouTube to money to get more customers. For example, they pay $1,000 a month. They use your channel mainly. This is bullshit, but they just split it with the creator, right?
Yes, correct.
So they incentivize the creator to make better content.
Exactly. And that's also the thing that Mr. Beast said back then was he had one person he optimized from $40,000 a month to $400,000 a month. Because the good thing is if people know how to get people as far to click their videos, the only thing you have to do is optimize their videos. And so we focus on the same thing. We focus on getting people to click first, getting good titles, getting good ideas, and getting good topics. And then after that, you go for, hey, listen, what is the audience retention like? When do people drop off? How can we optimize things? What words can we not use? What words do increase the viewer retention? Like, I'm going to give a really good tip on the end of this video that lets people watch to the end. And so these things are what makes it very interesting.
Yeah, you can use a lot of hooks, right?
Exactly.
I saw a TikTok video of a guy who's only puts out content. These are the 5 best tips for X.
Yeah.
You're going to love number 4.
Yeah.
So people are staying to number 4.
Yeah.
Okay. And would you say, what are your thoughts on AI? I mean, for example, let's say you had like a really great team 3 years ago for your cash cow business, copywriters, storytellers, voice actors, editors. You had all of those like a solid team.
Yeah.
But now you can replace a lot of them with AI.
Correct. So how I see it, what I'm doing, I don't know about other people who also run these businesses, but we focus on creating more volume. And there will be more competition, but the price will go down. So normally to get one story costs me as much as now creating 3 stories. But what I like to do is I like to create 3 stories because I get more assets. I get more videos on YouTube, which can then generate me more money. So I use it and I think about it in that way. There's a lot of people being afraid of it because there's more competition. But with the whole AI, it gets the level of entry so much lower that almost anyone can start.
Yeah.
So that's the good thing about it.
Yeah, you probably get a lot of questions from people who want to also start their own cash cow business.
100%.
Same with us with the dropshipping business and all. I would say the top 3 most questions always were, yeah, but there's a lot of competition. Is there any space left for me? And I would also say, yeah, you can sell like worldwide.
Yeah, you can do anything and everything and everywhere. Like it's the same with dropshipping. People don't think about it, but you have like those shower heads, like you guys talked about. But you also have those new ones where there's like a little disco in it, or it's like a filter. You got a company in Bali who's like, hey, listen, they're just making videos about how bad your hair can turn out if you shower without a filter in Bali, which is 100% true. They're doing $1 million plus in Bali. So it gives you opportunity everywhere. So look at what the market needs. Go find an item which is always applicable, at least that's my opinion about dropshipping and from the stuff I've learned. Because you can tell a story in such a way that everyone needs to buy your item. And that's what happens pretty much everywhere. So I would go for those kind of things. And the same goes for YouTube. I go for niches which are underrated, but I try and get myself into something. And if something pops up very quickly, I like to act fast. And within 48 hours, I want to have a channel running in that. So I focus on getting in niches as soon as possible when they're young. And finding a very good niche is a hard thing to do. And sometimes I like to challenge myself and just go in a niche which is very, very hard. And most of those, I'm honest in that they fail, but some of them, if they work, they will make a lot of money.
They work big time, right?
Yes, like the one of the channels I'm working on right now, and after this I can show you the videos because we got the first 3 videos now. If that niche works, it can generate up to, I think, 100 to 200,000 a month if your channel really starts popping. But it will take half a year before that happens.
So is it also like quick money, or is it long-term game?
Oh, for me, it's definitely a long-term game. I see YouTube as digital real estate. You want to get a ROI on a longer period of time. And my opinion is, I always get very happy about it. I like to be paid every single day, like $1, $2, $3. And if that just happens for like 6 years straight, that's awesome. That's like $3 times 365. That's like $1,000 every year for like 6 years. That's what I call true passive income, because I don't touch it anymore. And I have people doing the work for me. So I don't really think it gets more passive than that.
Do you get a payout every day from YouTube?
No, you get paid out once, but you see the analytics every single day.
Yeah.
I'm addicted to looking at it.
And have you seen the game change? Because the dropshipping game has significantly changed the past couple of years.
Yes.
Has the YouTube automation game also changed?
A little bit. It's like you don't want to use words like top 10. If you say like top 10 most dangerous animals, you would say like, these are the most extreme dangerous animals alive, like something like that. You just change the title, you change it, you make it up to date.
You can't say top 10.
You can, but people don't click on it anymore. It's not. You don't want to click on it because which one sounds more dangerous? Top 10 most dangerous animals, or these are the most dangerous animals alive? It's like which one would you click first?
Exactly.
And then you're gonna test the title. And I'm thinking straight out of my head, but if you give me a few minutes, I can come up with really good titles and actually have people get it and click on it. And you can use AI to make things even more extreme these days. So you can do like the most dangerous sea animal, and you get I don't know, you get like a megalodon with like such a tiny human and such a big teeth to really like say, hey, listen, this is like you're just dead. So that's funny.
And when it comes to changing, because the dropshipping game was always changing.
Yeah.
There was a lot of competition. You get Facebook bans, Stripe holding your cash.
Yeah.
What are the downsides of a cash cow business?
So for downsides, I would say right now YouTube is playing around with their algorithm more than ever, because TikTok is a very big competitor of YouTube. So what we've seen is some channels which are getting 0 views in the beginning, who then just like don't work at all. They go 18 videos and they might have one video with 100 views and nothing else. Sometimes they're also just very bad at making good thumbnails and good titles. That happens as well. But for some of these people, if they just delete all the videos and have them saved up in a drive and start a new channel and do the exact same thing, we had one person getting 1 million viewers in 6 days doing that.
So it's kind of random.
So that was really, really random. It made no sense. And I was as well like, give me manager access. I want to see what goes on here. And it's like, it says nothing. And I'm like, it's so weird. But that's YouTube being like experimental right now. And what also happens right now, which is a good thing, is YouTube sends out a lot of viewers in the beginning. So within your first 5 or 10 videos, it is not rare to get about 250,000 viewers if you make good videos. So it just randomly goes viral. But then the goal is to not have it drop all the way. So then applying the 80-20 rule, trying to make it good, That's one of the points. The other point, which is sometimes a little bit tricky, but not really, because the system of YouTube is a little bit weird, is the fair use policy. So some channels are monetized, and I would say this should never be monetized. Like we found this farmers channel, which was doing about 90 million viewers a month, and it was monetized. And all of the content was just sourced from random web pages and stuff. And I don't believe they have like a license or permission for any of these. And it's like, that channel could just literally make $250,000 or more. Those videos were 40 minutes plus, so I probably think they're making 300K plus on all stolen content, and that's monetized. And then some legitimate channels are then not monetized, even though you have a license. So that's very weird with YouTube as well.
Yeah, that's kind of the same with dropshipping, because also in the dropshipping game, you see ads running, and you know for sure that those are not allowed by the social platforms, but people do seem to get through it. Yeah. So I think
and then you literally copy the same ad, you change the thumbnail, and then it gets declined.
Yeah,
exactly.
True.
So that's awful.
Yeah.
And what has been your biggest, let's say, YouTube video or channel?
So the biggest video ever was a top 5 animation on Game Cinema, which had about 74 million viewers and about a $3 RPM, I think, because the only thing I remember is just earning a little bit over 200K for an individual video.
So for one video, and you spent how much on this video?
Nothing, because I asked for permission and I made that video myself, so I spent nothing.
So that was in the beginning, where you
That was in the
all of
beginning.
videos.
Yes. So what I did is I went to the comment section of a funny Minecraft animation. I said, "Hey, can I use your video in the top 5 and promote your channel?" So we did their channel name in the left top corner and like #5, #4, #3, #2, #1. But then we had like a 20-minute video or 25-minute video. But in this one, it was a top 25. So it was a longer video, hence the reason it made a little bit more money. And this video got insane, like viral. So that's one of my biggest hitters ever.
Okay, and how much? Because I think you need to test quite a lot, right?
Depends. It's more good looking for YouTube.
Good looking? What do you mean?
So good looking, I mean like you search for a very good niche, which you think has a lot of opportunity, and where you can make improvements better than your competitor for 20%. So if you upload better videos than your competitor, YouTube will slowly start to favor you instead of the person doing it right now. And that's the biggest difference.
And would you recommend, because you talked about that some channels are kind of random right now, would you recommend starting, for example, like 3 channels exactly the same and just uploading the videos to 3 channels? And
it also depends on your budget. So because YouTube, if you get everyone involved in it, you don't maximize or utilize AI as much. Normally your videos, for decent videos, you can get away for $60, but if you want really good videos, you more go towards $85. So if you spend, let's say, $80, let's go in between there. Let's say you do a bulk order, you get some discount. Let's say you do $80 for a video, then you have to do 3 channels at the same time, which is then $240 for 3 channels for just 1 day of uploads. Let's say you do a minimum of 3 per week, so that's $750 per week. That comes to $3,000 a month. Not everyone has $3,000 a month to spend on testing stuff. It's a little bit more expensive testing than dropshipping is. Dropshipping, you can run ads for $5 or €5 per day and see what it does. Probably doesn't do anything. It's a little bit low amount. But even if you do 25 per day, then it gets more. But you only test these products for, I don't know, like 10 days. And if they don't hit, you throw out the ads. So you spend a lot less testing it than you do with YouTube automation. So your budget has to be a little bit bigger.
So if somebody wants, let's say we want to start out with YouTube automation.
Yeah.
How much money do we need to get some profit?
So some profit, it always depends. I'm
Exactly.
honest in that. But on average, what I say is a lot of people who try themselves fail, honestly. This is not meant as a promotion towards myself, but or anyone, is like get a YouTube program, understand how to get a good title, how to get a good thumbnail. If you don't know those things, you're not going to make it. So get a program, spend $1,000 or $1,200 on it. Then besides that, what do you need? Let's say you do $80 per video. You would need about 30 videos to test. So that's about 2,400 in total to test one single niche. So if you want to test 10 at the same time, do your thing. Cost 10 times as much.
Would you say, because we have quite a big content team, and sometimes we have like a little bit of spare time for one of the editors, like to upload some videos in some niches, just to get started.
Yeah, try it. That'd be fun.
Yeah,
I'd love to help you guys.
Yeah, because but the first thing is to figure out the niche, right?
Yeah, 100%, but I can help you with that.
Yeah, but people who are watching, like young guys, young girls who want to get started, or people who want to do this beside their regular job,
Yeah.
What are the 3 steps you have to take to find a good niche?
So 3 steps, actually just 2, what I say
Okay.
is look at the volume. Well, okay, let's say 3. You have volume and CPM. Volume is an amount of viewers. CPM is what you get paid per 1,000 viewers. That has to be in balance per average on the video of what you find in your niche. Then the second thing you have to do is you have to filter channels which are getting more viewers than they having subscribers. So let's say you have
Okay.
3,000 subscribers, but your average viewed video is like 15,000 viewers. That means you're really getting pushed by the algorithm because they're sending you more traffic, which means your subscriber count is growing. And that means you're in the algorithm. And then the third thing, which I find important, is you have to be engaged in what niche you want to upload. As an example, if I would start a niche talking about golf, I don't know a single name about golf. Do you think I'm going to succeed in that niche compared to someone who is a really big fan
Yeah,
and knows
true.
the stories?
So it must be
Absolutely
interesting
not.
to you, yeah.
Yes, I
Yeah.
prefer so. And then there's always people saying, and this is the most upcoming one, it's like, oh, can I make videos about travel? The problem is everyone likes making travel videos. So what are you going to watch first? Are you going to watch a channel with a face connect to it, like Los LeBlanc? Or you're going to make random stock footage content and tell people the 10 places they have to go to? There's no relationship in this one. There's a relationship in that one. But on a lot of niches, almost everything with YouTube automation, because you upload without a face, you go for the ones which are good without a face. So for travel, I would not recommend people doing it. There's 2 or 3 people who have profit in it, but I've seen tens of them fail. And I always say, don't go into it. You're not going to make it. It's a long-term game. It's an SEO game. It's not YouTube algorithm. So, yeah, people have to take their own risks.
And do you have some sort of tools like Google Trends or similar websites where you can just spot an upcoming trend?
Yeah, Google Trends. You can filter it on the 4th box on YouTube. And then I mostly do YouTube 90 days or 365. And that way I can check out a little bit and listen, is this being searched for? But that's the whole thing. It's based on search. It's not based on algorithm.
Yeah.
So don't get misled by it. Still do your own research. Still do research like I just told you. And if you do
Like
that,
on
you should
YouTube,
get for
on
yes,
YouTube itself.
yes.
Yeah.
And you have VidIQ and other stuff who are working on it. And I know a guy who's also working on a software which then just scouts everything on YouTube and finds profitable niches, but that's being in process.
Like a Jungle Scout on Amazon?
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
There isn't any tool at the moment?
No.
Okay.
No, because it's really hard because you have to predict. So you need to get so much data consistently if you want to pull it up. And I have no idea how that works. I'm not a SaaS builder.
No.
Would be interesting though, but I got enough on my hands right now.
And can you take us with your current businesses? How many channels are responsible for 80% of the revenue? Are you testing out new channels, new videos?
Yes. So in short, right now we have 2 niches, 9 channels, and then we're building up 2 new channels. Not going to tell them which niche because I want to keep that one for myself right now. So we have 2 new niches with 2 new channels, and we're starting up a 3rd channel as well. And then right now we're also working on the office here in Bali, which is then more for the content creation, which is then for new and more ASMR channels. So all of that is happening at the same time. Then I also have the coaching business, which is interesting because I'm learning a lot as a person myself, learning to outsource more things, having other people do it. You guys have given some advice on it as well. So yeah, working towards that, working towards getting into a better position in the company where I can focus more on my YouTube stuff because actually as I don't want to blame everyone, but as a person, I actually make more money with my YouTube stuff than I make with my course. So I want to spend more time on the YouTube stuff than I do with the program. But the coaching has been very interesting. And I also like, and maybe this sounds weird, to grow an audience because there's a lot of ways to leverage an audience. Like I can promote my villa. Like my villa tour video got me 10 bookings, which then resulted in me earning a little bit over 10,000 euros with a single YouTube video. And I was like, that's insane. So ever since that moment, I started to see, listen, there's so many ways on leveraging things, but you're also giving people value because people want to stay at the villa. So it's a win-win situation. I get business out of it, I get YouTube out of it, I get a few followers out of it. It's a win-win for everyone, and someone else has a very good and pleasant stay. We always have 45-star reviews, which is absolutely mind-blowing.
And those 9 channels you have at the moment,
Yes.
are they? When did you start it? When did you start them?
So Okay, some of them 6 years ago, since 2018.
And they're still making profit, those channels.
Yes, some
They're
of
still
them.
active as well.
Not all of them. So, but the 9 channels, yes. We have a lot more channels, because if you see me scrolling through my account, it's a lot more than 9. But 9 are profitable, let's say it that way. We have a lot of other channels, like we have like 3 channels who are earning between $1 and $5 every single day for like 3 years to go, which is like awesome. But I don't really count those in there. They're not doing anything, and $1 is too low to talk about. It's still fun.
Okay, but those 9 channels are. I'm just curious how long it takes before it gets really profitable. Let's say 10K a month.
So 10K a month is doable with 1 channel. And 10K, if you get a good niche, like really good one, then that should be possible within 90 days of going live. So let's say you first assemble your team, and then within 90 days of going live.
Uploading each and every day 1 video or more.
No, the two per week is good enough.
2 per week.
Yes, 3 per week would be awesome if you can keep creating the high level quality content. Because if you go up in quantity but you lower your quality, YouTube is still going to prefer someone else who has more quality, who gets more watch time.
And how does YouTube checks the quality of a video?
By how long people watch. So if you, let's say you upload a video, same topic, same title, same everything, but your video gets watched 3.5 minutes, but then I come ahead and my quality is higher, and let's say your video is 8 minutes, but my video is 12 minutes, but on average people spend 4 minutes watching my video, that's an extra 30 seconds you're on the platform spending with me.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing YouTube cares about, so YouTube will promote me and not you anymore. Hence the reason I say you need to create content and the quality 20% higher than your competitor. Because if I can increase it by that much, people are going to flock over to my channel.
Yeah. And I saw a video, I'm not quite sure if it was Gary Vee or someone else, saying that TikTok is also going to more long-form content.
Yeah.
And they're also going to monetize it, right?
Yeah, they want to monetize it the same way as YouTube, which would be very interesting.
Yeah.
Because then people from YouTube are going to repurpose their content on TikTok, because that's free revenue. And that also makes this whole business so much more accessible. It's because there's so many more ways on leveraging your videos. Like you make one podcast that gets 50 clips, and then those 50 clips can all start generating money as well. Unfortunately, it's not accessible for everyone, but even Instagram Reels has bonuses if you're in the US. So you could make money with Instagram, you could make money with TikTok, you can make money with Facebook Reels, because there's Facebook Reels bonus. And then you could also make money with YouTube Shorts. So there's so many places you can repurpose your content and get more exposure and make more money. So yeah, it gets a lot more accessible for everyone. Everyone can be a content creator, even with a low amount of followers.
And what are the biggest trends when it comes to YouTube automation?
The
for
biggest
coming years? Or
predicting
hypes
trends
or
are-
opportunities?
AI probably.
Yeah, probably AI. There's this channel called 10x Income, which is a very fun name because that's from the motto from Grant Cardone.
Yeah.
But that channel is purely with AI, most of it, and it shows you like how to make money with AI, which is really funny. And then it's like you can create templates with Midjourney and then sell them on Etsy, and then make money that way, like color platings. Like you can just generate them with AI, and then you do like the little colors, you edit a little bit, and then you sell them in a group, and then there's people making money that way. And it's like if that works well, and you have like a little bit of videos you can make around of it, and you promote it a little bit on every social, you can earn 5, 6, 7,000 a month, which then still becomes very interesting. And that channel alone is right now getting like 3-4 million views a month, but that has like a $15 RPM. So that channel is also doing 60K a month with AI, which is also very interesting. So AI is going to change a lot.
Yeah. True.
Also, the way of entering the game. I mean,
Yeah, level of entry.
Yeah, it's getting a lot easier.
It's getting a lot
True,
easier,
yeah.
so there's more competition, and then it gets back to who delivers the best quality. And there's nothing as a human connection. So that's also a thing you have to take into consideration.
But do you truly believe there's going to be more competition?
Yes, but people are still lazy. So
Exactly,
it
so-
won't be as fast as people think it will be, because there's a few people like me who will actually go ahead and abuse it as much as possible, get as many people to start as many channels. Hence the reason I'm getting like 16 editors in the office that I've showed you guys. So if I have 16 editors who can all run 3 channels, I can do 48 channels with AI. So who's going to be my competitor? I don't see a lot of people pumping out 48 channels at once.
But you're gonna give all the editors like their dedicated channel.
Yes.
Aha.
And then probably channel performance boost as well, depending on how it goes. But I have to think about that. But that's something which I have in mind.
And do you create all of your content with your own team, or?
Yes, 100%.
But I think the students who are just starting out, do they also create their own content or do
No,
they
so
shoot it?
you mostly use a website to get a license, or you use a content creation team who has access to like all these
Stock
websites, stock footage, stock videos.
What are good stock sites like
Storyblock is one.
Storyblogs, Envato, I think?
Yeah, Envato is also one. Adobe is also one. There's a bunch of them. But what I like to do as well is leverage content which is already on YouTube. But if my videos are educational, I can transform them. I can give them source credit, and then it falls under fair use. So I can use better content by just going on YouTube as well. But that's still always a tricky part. That's why I said like the whole fair use is so tricky because who decides who's fair use? The court does.
Yeah, true.
You do not. I do not.
Yeah.
So I can use your content, and then the question still is, hey, listen, can you use it or not? We had one person getting copyright strikes as a student, and I said, hey, listen, that's just completely under fair use. You transform the content, you're giving information about a certain vehicle, and it's like, that falls under fair use. They have nothing to say about it. And they said, no, you're a dumb little idiot. And I was like, that's a weird email to send. So I was like, they're never going to go to court, because if you just show them that you're saying you're a dumb little idiot, then you don't have the best favor for a court room. So I was like, that makes no sense. And I was like, yeah. So I actually spent like 45 minutes for one student, like researching that whole company. I was like, no, you're good. They're not going to pursue anything. They're not going to pursue legal action against that.
Did
Worst
you
case
ever went
scenario,
to
you have a
court?
strike. I went to court 3 times.
Within the cash cow business?
Yes, but only once for myself and 2 times for other parties. So I actually found a method on getting back any channel which was terminated as long as you send a court letter to YouTube, which was a funny trick. So
But how do you go to court? I mean, there are people from Pakistan, Indonesia.
No.
Europe.
So the only one who I actually took to court was YouTube itself.
In Amsterdam.
In Amsterdam, yep. So what I did is I had a lawyer write up a letter, which I use on a very, very big GTA channel. I don't know the name anymore. I tried finding it back, but I can't find it. But this channel was huge in the GTA glitches and money glitches and that stuff. And his channel was terminated, and he wasn't able to get it back from YouTube.
Why
I
was
said,
it terminated?
Because of spam, scam, and other purposes. It wasn't scamming, but it was showing all these bugs which GTA didn't like. So they took down the channel, most likely because GTA told them to take it down. So I said, hey, listen, I found a way on getting your channel back, but I want 20% of your income for the next 3 years. And he said, where do I sign? And I said, right there. So he signed it with me, and I had this letter because previously I got a channel taken down, also falsely, which was Game Cinema, and I wanted to get it back. And YouTube didn't want to give it back to me, even with chat support. And back then I even had my own dedicated manager at YouTube who could normally just like one click install and it's back. And he said, like, there's nothing we can do. And I was like, perfect, then I'll take you to court. So I had my lawyers write up a letter to send to YouTube. We sent a letter, and then literally like 6-7 days before we had to show up in court, all the channels got re-enabled.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, so I got the channels back, and then also for 2 other people, which I then took 20% off for 3 years. And then one of those deals made me a little bit over 6 figures.
And that channel is still up, the GTA channel.
I have no idea because I can't find it back. I don't know the name of it anymore. But if I type in GTA money glitches, I'm not finding it. So
Probably
I
not.
have probably not. But this was back in 2017 or so. So that's 2020. So that's already 3 years ago since I last searched this channel. So it could have been gone. I think actually now I think of it, he changed it to Fortnite when Fortnite was popping. So might be that. But
Okay.
I'm going to try and find that one back.
Okay. So you're 23 at the moment. You have the first villa in Bali,
Yes.
where we stayed, which I think you also made a pretty good deal out of it, buying it
100%.
during Corona here
Yep.
in Bali. And you're building 2 more villas.
Correct.
What is your, I wouldn't say your end goal, but where do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
So I see me scaling up my YouTube business quite a bit to probably minimum of 300,000 profit every single month, which is one of the goals. And besides that, I want to build up a property portfolio, but also in multiple countries. So not just Bali, but I probably think also Barcelona and Dubai to get some properties there. So I can stay a little bit of everywhere and have diversity. So if I want to go to Europe, I have Spain. If I want to go to the Middle East, where there's of course a lot of oil, I can go to the Middle East. And then if I want to go and enjoy life and relax a little bit at the beach, then I got Bali. So I got a little bit of everything at one point. So for the next 5 or 10 years, that would be very realistic.
Because you have your business also located in Dubai, right?
Correct.
I know why, but maybe you can explain what.
I live in Dubai, so I don't have to pay taxes. That's the reason I live in Dubai. But also because it's very centrally located. So for me, the reason to move out of the Netherlands was I was already traveling 6 months a year. So technically speaking, I didn't even have to pay taxes in the Netherlands. The only thing I had to, because my company was registered there. So the only thing I had to do was register my company in Dubai, where there's a lower tax rate, which is 0, so I could avoid it. And that's pretty much why I did it mostly. But I do have to say, I also like the Dubai healthcare, which is a lot better in my opinion than the Netherlands, because I actually had my tonsillitis removal done in Dubai. And I also had a medical emergency once in Dubai, which was both taken care of very well. And also one with my mother, actually, which had a double lung infection because of a weird disease in the Middle East.
Okay.
So all of that happened there as well. So I'm quite familiar with the hospitals, unfortunately. So that's mostly the reason I moved to Dubai. And still, for me, it's very well located, because if I want to go to Amsterdam, where do I have to go through? Either through Singapore or through Dubai or through Qatar. So if I can do a stop in Dubai and I can check in and I can do my dentist appointments and I can do the rest, then I stay there for a week and then I move to the Netherlands. So it's like always on one row. And then let's say I want to go from here, let's say I have a meeting in Texas. Well, how do I travel? I go from here, I go to Dubai, and Dubai is directly to Texas. So there's so many central points as well. So those are the 2 most recent, I would say, I actually moved to Dubai.
Yeah. And how's the healthcare here in Bali?
How the healthcare here is in Bali, not as good.
No?
No. So for Bali, it's mostly that if you have a small injury or something which you just need medicine for, you're completely fine. Also dengue or just high fevers or sunburns, you'll be fine. But for a broken bone, like sounds very similar with my mom, I had a scooter accident where she broke her ankle. Guess who found the crack? Not the surgeon. I did. I found the crack. That tells you enough. And I've only seen such a picture maybe 2 or 3 times in movies. And I was like, isn't that one? And it's like, oh yeah, you spotted that well. I was like, yeah, because you're not serious. The guy was literally came in, was on a WhatsApp call, and literally showed the patient on the WhatsApp call when wearing AirPods. And I was like, this is not serious. So I also said like...
And this is like a Balinese, or is this
that was a
Australia?
Balinese.
Okay.
But they're building an Australian hospital here, which is finished within the next 2 years or so.
2 years?
Yeah.
Okay.
Which will be very, very good. It's like based on the level of Australia, which is one of the highest in the world.
Yeah, so that's like how do you say that? That's good for your mood, right? I mean, if something happens, you can go to
You can go to the hospital and you'll be fine.
instead of someone who's on WhatsApp and say, "You're fine, man."
It's literally like look, so she broke her bone. It's like fuck off.
Yeah.
So that very much annoyed me, and we definitely mentioned that to them
Okay.
as like a privacy breach and everything. So
Okay. And how's the real estate investment? How's the ROI? How are the deals?
oh, good. Bali right now is popping. It's very trendy. There's a lot more people coming than normal. So everything in Barawa, Canggu, Pararan has seen a lot of increase. So I bought my property during the pandemic. So I bought it for 384,000 euros or dollars. And simply said, that right now it's probably worth about 600 to 650,000. And then at the same time, it's generating me 5,000 euros net every month after all expenses included, including taxes.
And is it easy to build something here in Bali? What are the steps you have to take?
So you can probably find a contractor. So first you have to find a lease. I don't like freehold. So let's say we go for leasehold. You have to find a good land which you can lease. Then you have to check the land if the soil is good. So they test out the ground to see if you can build on it. If that's then good, then you sign and then you buy it. And then after that, you go to a contractor or an architect. So you first let it designed. So you let it be designed, and then after that, you go ahead and go to the contractor, who then goes ahead and makes your dreams reality.
Exactly. Can you explain a bit more about leasehold and freehold?
Yeah, freehold. Yeah, so freehold means you own the property forever, which is impossible as a foreign person. So only if you're from Indonesia, you can own a freehold property. But you can own it under a company. But it has to be an Indonesian company, and it can never be owned by any other company. So if you sell it, you have to sell it, and then you have to withdraw the money from the company, because you're legally obliged to do that, and then you have to pay a lot of taxes on that. So I never recommend really going for freehold
No.
unless you're thinking of buying an apartment as a holiday thing and you want it until you like die. Then go ahead and buy a freehold. And that's another thing with apartments actually, is that the land will always be owned by the Indonesian person, but the apartments have to be 51% for Indonesian people and 49% for Western people. So you can own an apartment freehold as a foreign person, but that means you only own a piece in the sky.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's the difference in it. But then for a villa, I'd say get a leasehold, minimum 25 years, preferably 30 years. So what a lot of people do is they buy or they build something, so for 30 years, and then they have, let's say you spend 1 year on building it and everything else, let's say a year and a half, and you still have 3.5 years which they rent it out for, and then when it hits 25 years, they actually sell the property for 25 years leasehold, because it's pretty much the same worth as 30 years, which is how a lot of people make profits, because you have 3.5 years of rentals, let's say 5,000 net a month, it's 60,000 a year, it's 180,000 profit, and you sell it off. And because you build it, you also have those profits, which is probably another 150 to 250K, depending on how big and how good your business is running. So you can make 400K profit within 5 years. And there's a lot of people consistently repeating that as well.
And what are the costs of buying land here in Bali?
Really depends on the area. So for Canggu right now, it's between 35 and 45 million, or actually between 25 million and 45 million rupiah per hour, which is 100 square meters, per year.
And 45 million is around 30,000 euros, right?
No, 2,800. But then you have more hours and you need to buy a lot of years.
But
Yeah, it's per year. So
It's per year.
on a
yeah,
lease
that's
of
weird.
30 years, it's times 30.
It's times 30.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
so it's 2,800, and let's say my property is 4.7 R. So that's, let's say, just 5 R for the simplicity. So that's times 5. So then you get 2,800 times 5, which is 14,000, and then 14,000 multiplied by 30 is 520,000. If I had a 30-year lease for the one that I have right now, because that is it's in the second best street of Bali.
So that's how much for only the land?
So for that land, for Villa Sabaya, that would come down. It is 4.5 R, but let's say it's 5 R, it would be about 500K just for the land.
That's expensive.
Yes, because it's also one of the best locations. Hence the reason it went from 380 all the way up to 650 pretty much. That's because the land value went up so much.
And the piece you're building right now, how much did you pay for the land, like in Prerarang where we went?
So the second one is still Canggu,
Yeah.
and we bought that land, so that's 3 R exact. And the 3 R, we bought it for 116,000 euros, and right now it's valued at about 182,000 euros. And then we have the one in Cemagi, which I think, if it's located pretty much the one across it, is for 40 million per hour per year. And that one is 5.5 R, so that's huge. And it's 3 floors.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really big one.
Yeah.
And you can build always, is there a maximum in the amount of floors you can build?
Yes, not higher than 15 meters.
15.
Yeah.
That's quite
Otherwise,
high.
it has to be in a red zone.
Yeah, that's important, right? You didn't mention that, but you have
Yeah.
to check out in which zone
The land zone,
the
yes.
land is.
So if it's green, you don't touch it. If it's orange, then you can build a villa on it. And if it's red, you can use it for anything. You can build a resort. You can build it as high as you want, pretty much. I think up to 50 meters then. So still a cap on it, but a lot
Okay.
higher.
And have you heard some like horror stories about people buying land and the wrong land, or?
The people lie about their land. So they say, yeah, I got land for sale. It's orange. You can buy it right now. It's a cheap deal, like they like to say here. And then you sign the contract without looking, and you pay the money, and then it's not orange. You're not allowed to build on it. So they scammed you for a lot of money.
So the advice is always to get a good agent.
Yes, get a good
Or a
agent
good,
and have it being checked. Actually go to the government building, ask for the land zone, and say, this is where the land is, and then they can look on a map. And then if it's orange, you can buy it. If it's red and they say it's orange, then definitely buy it because it's worth more.
Correct.
But if it's green, then you can be a farmer.
Then you can be a farmer. You can start working in the rice paddies.
And I think it's also important to have like a right-hand man, because you have Wayan, who is
Yes.
your man here in Bali.
Yeah, I love him.
I think that makes life a lot easier,
Yeah,
right? here in
definitely.
Yeah,
Bali.
it makes
A
for
local.
me a lot easier because it's a local person. Because that's another thing. If you go through agents or you go through people, everywhere you pay a fee. Everyone needs to take their profits.
Yeah.
But in this case, even if you buy a villa or something, you can go to the direct person if you know how to speak their language. Because What Boyan then does is he just goes up to the cleaner and says, hey, listen, who's the owner? Do you have a number? And it's like, no, I don't have a number, or I just work for the agency, which can also happen because then it's mostly agency owned. But otherwise, it's like, yeah, we have a number, and then you text them, and it's like, hey, listen, the listing says 380. What is your minimum price? And some people literally say 320 is okay. So besides their 5% con, they still have a 60,000 markup, which is definitely possible. So.
And would you recommend if someone is interested in buying something here in Bali for renting out or living in, to buy existing villa or to build it from scratch?
So existing villas right now is very expensive, and because you're a foreigner, unless you have a kita here, you can't get a loan, which means you have to pay in full. So that gets rid of a lot of people, and then getting off plan allows you to do payment plans depending on the contractor.
Payment plans, like, but you still have to pay it in full cash, right?
Yeah, you have to pay it in full in cash, but it's like 30% upfront, and then 20% when 50% is done. They pay another 20% when like 75% is done. That's how it works for me.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's probably also a bit cheaper, right? To find your own land, to build on it.
It's a lot cheaper. That's where the profit is made.
Yeah.
Because for the second villa, I already has the land increase. If the villa is built and everything is around is finished, my total profit on a villa like that would be about 150 to 175,000 net.
Yeah, after it's being finished.
After it's finished, yes, and that's for the second one, and then the third one is pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, because we went to Bali Texture.
Yes.
We're quite sure if you want to share it, but we went to Bali
No,
Texture.
100%, that's fine. That's the third villa.
Yeah, so we went there, and they have this brochure saying that you will have your investment back in roughly 5 years.
Yeah, 5,
Yeah.
6 years. Yeah.
Which is insane.
It is insane. They have the little letters underneath it, which say this doesn't include villa management, electricity, Wi-Fi, and/or taxes. So not 100% realistic. I'd say add about 30% of time on top of that.
So what is realistic?
7
then?
years.
7 years is realistic.
7 years, you have your total money
investment
put into
recouped.
it back.
Yes, and then you have free cash flow for another 23 years.
Yeah, because what happens after the 30 years?
Well, you either have to extend the lease, but if you're unable to extend the lease, then it goes back to the person who owns the land.
And how does this work? I mean, if he's like, no, I'm not going to extend it, then he gets his land back, let's say within
Yes.
2 years.
Well, that depends on your agreement, because most agreements include automatically, like, hey, listen, how you say that as the following.
Extension?
It has an extension attached to it. So either it has a fixed extension, which is you can buy an additional 20 years at this rate, which doesn't happen now anymore because the land prices have surged. But before that, you were able to do so. So you can buy the extension and you can save a lot of money on that. And then normally when you buy stuff like the Bali Texture, it's 30 years lease. And then after 30 years, within the last 5 years, I have to be able to extend again for another 30 years based on the market value then.
After 5 years or the last 5 years?
The last 5 years.
Okay.
And then I can extend the land again. And before that, if I want to go there and I want to extend further, I can do so. So let's say 7 years later, I decide to sell the property. I say, hey, Bali Texture, listen, I want to buy 3 more years from you guys. Is that possible? And they say, sure, you pay this, you pay it, and then your lease is 30 years, and you put it on the market.
Yeah. But let's say you can't extend the lease, then you own the villa.
Yeah,
he
you
owns
own
the
the villa.
land, but you have to take it down.
Yeah, pretty much.
He
Yeah.
bulldozes the villa down or something.
Probably not. He probably
No.
sells it again to someone else who offers more money.
Yeah.
But those situations barely happen.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be worried about that. Just make sure your lease agreement includes another section so you
Exactly.
get more return on investment.
Yeah.
So I always look for 25 plus 25 or 30 plus 30. So even if you have 23, make sure you ask, hey, listen, is there an extension available? And if they say no, then I won't buy it.
You know enough, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's still a good investment. Let's say it takes you 7 years to make your money back. Then you still have 16 years of pure cash flow.
True.
So it's not bad, and the price will be cheaper because you pay less.
Yeah, true.
So you can get a good property. Let's say there's some villas which have like 13 years left, but they're for sale for 100K. If you rent it out, which is 100K is not a lot of money. Let's say you rent it out for 200 a night, then you still make the property back within 2 years. So then you still got 11 years of free cash flow. So there's also people buying up, like I like to say, the junk, which gives you a very low entry, still gives you cash flow, but not as much as the rest does.
Yeah.
It just has a little bit more upkeep, more work, and that's it.
Yeah.
It's a very good low-level entry.
Yeah, I saw a video of someone who lives in Bali, and they bought some junk, like you mentioned. But you can fix it for fairly cheap.
Yeah,
Make it looking aesthetic and
Yeah, the only problem is if you've spent a lot on it, and let's say you fix it and everything, but it's only left for 11 years, and then it's someone else.
then it's a problem.
Then I personally don't like that.
No.
Yeah, it's a little short term.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I like to go into real estate because I want the long term.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
otherwise I
is there a reason you're only into cash flow businesses?
I just love them. So for me, cash flow is like, it makes you free. Like, I don't have to work. I don't have to go to the office. I don't have to do anything. Technically speaking, I can retire. Even if I lose half my business, I still make 50K a month. Hands off for the next 3 years.
Yeah.
So even with that money, if I invest everything, and everything is already invested what I have. So I don't have to work another day in my life. I just like doing what I do. I like making podcasts. I like making videos. I like creating content. I like creating value. So you can make the world a better place. And that gives you a lot of opportunities. You meet more people. More people means more connections. And then the whole circle keeps going around.
And what for you has been, because you're fairly young and you're well educated about making money, business, how did you get here so quick?
Just being lucky with YouTube. Sounds very weird to call myself lucky, but I was lucky starting so early.
Yeah,
I was not
true.
lucky in my ability to do so. I was lucky in starting early. So because I started early and I started learning and earning money at a young age, that has helped me consistently. It was always like, you should invest it or you should travel it. So my parents always said 2 things, like invest your money. Don't save your money, invest your money. And then the other thing they said is, travel as much as you can. Because those are experiences, and the people you meet, you will keep for life. And that has been true. Every time I've been on holiday, some points, and for sure when I went alone, as one example which really took off for me, I was earning about $10,000 a month. And I was going to Thailand because I just went through a very toxic relationship. I had my breakup and everything. And I decided to go to the camp in Chiang Mai and just train. And within 23 days, I was pretty much fully ripped. I can show you guys a picture as well. Like, I had a complete body transformation. Like, you won't recognize me anymore. And that was wonderful. And at one point, that was the 23rd day, because then I went home. I found another niche, and I started creating channels in that, and that then became oddly satisfying videos, which then resulted in me earning $1.2 million from it in the next 2 years. So that was thanks to traveling.
Yeah. So what do you recommend, like young guys, youngsters?
Youngsters is find a skill, what you're good at, what you like doing, which could be appointment setting, sales, talking to people, communication, or go fully in on AI, learn everything, because there will be a lot of job opportunities. And maybe if you're very, very good, you might have an equity stake in something which goes viral, and then you become worth tens of millions. So that's also possible.
Yeah.
So that's what I would recommend. If I was 16, I would probably start doing YouTube with fully AI and just consistently, like 12 hours a day, create content, try as many things as possible.
Like do the thumbnails with Midjourney, the other stuff with ChatGPT and
ChatGPT, Midjourney, everything as cheaply as possible, and use 11 Labs for AI for the voice, even though it's not the best, but it is really good, but you have to do it sentence for sentence or without the dots, and it becomes a weird story because it never stops. So you have to look at those points, you have to fix those things. But then at that point, it's perfect pretty much. And if you do that, and let's say you put all your energy in it for 12 hours a day, or let's say 6 hours outside of school, then let's say 1 or 2 channels just start popping, and you start earning 3,000, 4,000, who knows, maybe even $20,000 a month. At such a young age, you can build up so much. Yeah. This is one kid, which is in the English program as well, which is doing 20,000 a month, and he just turned 16. And he just he does a lot of stuff with AI. And it's like, those stories are the most insane because he's so young. And it's like, he can go ahead and buy a property pretty much right now, because he's been doing this for about half a year now. And he's in America, so you have those interesting loans and everything. So he's already looking at a multifamily. And the kid is 16, and he has the money to get it.
Yeah, so the key is really to focus on something and just keep at it
100%.
Consistently. Yeah. True.
That's what I like to do.
Do you reckon you will ever go back to, let's say, the Netherlands?
Not anytime soon. No, I feel the Netherlands is too much of the woke culture, which I preferably don't like. There's a lot of things going in the wrong direction. And also, I don't like the politics in the Netherlands. and I don't like they want to get half my money, and you get taxed anywhere else as well, which means you get taxed for your electricity. You don't get taxed once, you get taxed 3 times. Same for your petrol. You get taxed not once, you get taxed 3 times. So I pay for my whole villa, I pay 160 a month for electricity. That's including a swimming pool, which is 15 by 4 square meters, which is huge. Like, you can do full laps pretty much in it. And then if you compare that to the Netherlands, where my parents and my little brother, they spend 800 a month. That makes no sense to me. So I'm like, so there's a lot of stuff going wrong there.
I think that's also the reason why a lot of young entrepreneurs, a lot of students, they move to Dubai, Bali, Portugal, Spain.
Yeah, but that's the reason. What was it last year? We had, for the first time in like 20 years, we had more people leave than come into the Netherlands, and that during midst of a war. So there were 150,000 people who had left the Netherlands officially in a single year, which is almost 1%.
150,000, yeah.
I thought it was something like that. I'm not
That's a
100%
lot.
sure, but I know a lot of people leaving. Like, a lot of them. Almost every single entrepreneur who's doing reasonable numbers, above 5 figures, is leaving. All of them. And then the funny thing is, the good staff, which is paid a lot, which pays a lot of taxes in the Netherlands, is now also being transitioned into Dubai. There's underneath them, there's an employee, and then they live in Bali and they get paid their salary tax-free. So even that's starting to happening right now, because people don't want to pay up the 36, 42, and 52% in tax.
And is it easy to manage your team or to build like a big business here in Bali?
That's something I'm going through right now, so I can't tell you yet. That's an experience I have to go through. So Monday, after you guys have left as well, I will be doing the interviews for the central manager, and then after that we have the editor manager, and then it becomes the video manager, and then those people will have their staff.
Because there's a lot of distraction in Bali. I mean, it's
100%. There's good food everywhere, good parties. You got a lot of distractions, but the thing is, I don't focus on it. First of all, I don't care. That's the first point. And then the second point is, like, I like working. I like building my company. I want to see where I can take it now. And I like learning. So from you guys, from like your programs and the experiences you guys have, it's also a learning experience for me, which I can then start processing and listen. I start building this, I start building this, I start building this. And eventually it's like, hey, listen, I've now built all of this. What can we do? What can I create out of it? And how do you grow? And it's like, that's worth so much more to me than going to a party and being drunk on a Monday morning, laying in my pool on a little thing. No.
Don't you have a party?
Almost never. I've been a few times here. I've been to La Brissa, I've been to Savaya, I've been to Shishi. But no, I don't like it.
You're not a party animal?
No, not at all. Not in any sort of way. I also don't drink, so
I
I
think
pretty much don't drink. I
you're
drink socially.
if you're like sensitive to partying and alcohol, and
Yeah,
you're gonna have a hard time here in Bali.
Yeah,
I think.
definitely.
Yes. But I just don't go to any, almost never. And I drink a wine. I drink a bottle of wine or a glass of wine when you have a good steak or a good pasta. But now we're creating a lot of content, so if I drink, my mouth starts to dry up. So I also try and avoid that, of course, because I had the tonsillitis surgery. So I take a little bit more of that into consideration, hence the reason there's a glass of water there. So, yeah, pretty much that.
Okay, Wanner, I think it's amazing what kind of business you've built. I mean, you have your coaching, you have your cash cow business. You've been at it since you were quite young.
Yep.
So I think that's truly amazing. I mean, you're only 23 years old, and you already have built this, big business, coaching business. I can't wait where you will end in another 10 years.
We'll have to see.
Yeah, we have to see. We will definitely stay in touch. If people are interested in your cash cow coaching business, how can they get in touch with you?
So you can either get in touch with me through Instagram, which is @WannerCashCow. We'll just leave a link here below. You could just shoot me a message, tell me what you think about the podcast, and then I'll give you a response. And if you don't care about talking to me and just want to get directly to it, we'll leave a link to the website as well.
Okay, cool. And if people have questions about investing in Bali or just some general questions.
Probably still my Instagram @WannerCashCow.
WannerCashCow is the best way to go.
I do have to say I filtered the two, so it can be taking a little bit more of a response time before I get back to you.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so thanks for inviting us to Bali. It's been an amazing ride, amazing island. So highly recommend it. I also highly recommend if you're looking into YouTube automation, I think Wanner is one of the biggest. I mean, we've been to the office. It's amazing. So
It's
I think
another
definitely.
level.
yes, you're one of the gurus who's still at the game. So that's that's,
Thank you so much for those words.
quite
I
nice.
appreciate that.
okay, man. Thanks, and thank you guys for watching.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.